Hello and welcome to the $1 Million Message. This is your Fearless Friday message with Callie DeBlander Brigham, calling from beautiful Pensacola Beach, Florida. Happy sizzling flash sale day, everybody. Okay, did you get the email? Did you see the news? Mary Kay has gifted us 3 products that are 55% off. I'm going to talk about those today, and then I'm going to tell you something that just shook me in a good way, Okay, so first, let's talk practical things here. We've got 3 products that are 55% off instead of 50% off. Let me talk about them. All right, let's start first of all with, let's do our translucent powder. Okay, so the translucent powder, the wholesale cost is going to be $8.10. So if that just helps you to wrap your brain around it. For each of these 3 things, there is a limit of 13 per consultant with this discounted price. You can always order more, but at the discounted price. And of course, it is while supplies last. So what I like to think about is, okay, what is the pain point or need point that somebody might have for a product? And so for this one, things like, okay, I reapply powder throughout the day, but it makes me feel cakey or orangey. All right, this is the product that you are not going to do that. It just basically gives you a matte finish without feeling like you've got anything additional on. Okay, maybe you say, I can't quite ever find the exact right shade of mineral powder, loose powder, setting powder, whatever. Guess what? This is one shade fits all. It really is so cool if you've ever seen it on anybody. All right, so that is a great product for that. Maybe they like to do things like having some extra powder to set under eyes or to wipe away eye makeup under there. Gotcha. Here we go. This is your translucent powder. And then lastly, I've not personally tried this. However, I have heard recently that some people are even using this as in a pinch, dry shampoo. That's right. So what? Oh my goodness. Our cost $8.10 for all those things. So what could you do today with that? Well, why don't you go live in your customer group or live on your personal page? Why don't you talk about some of the benefits while applying translucent powder so people can see the difference? All right, this is perfect as we go into the warmer summer months. The second product is our Resurfacer Booster, the PHA-AHA Resurfacer Booster, or Baby Retinol. That's what I call it, or Retinol Junior. The wholesale price, for this is going to be $17.10. That is such a crazy, awesome price for us for such an amazing product. Okay, so what problems does this solve? So for somebody that loves the idea of retinol but maybe can't use it, maybe they're pregnant or nursing, or they've just got a strong sensitivity. Maybe for somebody who loves the idea of retinol but doesn't love the idea of the 8-week retinization process, this is not something they're going to do, and they know themselves. Maybe this is a to-go product that they're going to use maybe for a little bit of a gentler exfoliation property that retinol does during the summer, and then they'll kick into high gear retinol, so it's sort of like the gateway drug for them. Or maybe it's simply just price point. Maybe somebody would love retinol, but that's just not quite in their budget. Here we go. This is our Resurfacer. It's basically like a retinol, but not quite as strong. Got the idea? Now, let me also say, I just heard some folks saying this is getting them sandal ready. As in putting this on their feet, especially cracked heels, and it is like better than any pumice stone or any pedicure they've had. Are you kidding me? I got to try this. Okay, so wanted to share that about the PHA-AHA Resurfacer, or the one with the green writing on it. That's just how I know the difference between the boosters for me personally. And it was funny, I was telling my team about it, and I said, this is for somebody that just wants to dip their toe into retinol. I was like, oh, wait, literally, if you're going to use it on your feet. Okay, womp womp. All right, the last one is the hand sanitizer. Do y'all remember when the hand sanitizer first came out? Oh my goodness, I wanted to just kiss it. This product, and I think this is important, you could tell people, this is the product that kept our doors open in 2020. In spring of 2020, this is the product that kept Mary Kay's doors open. It deemed us essential. We gave away $9 million in hand sanitizer and self-care products to frontline responders, first responders, medical professionals. Amazing. Like, this is legit the product, right? Okay, so the wholesale for us is $3.10. Get out of town. Well, I started to think, okay, what is coming up the second week of May? And your order will be there if you order today. What is coming up? Nurses Week, Teachers Week, Mother's Day. Who in the world needs to have more hand sanitizer than nurses, teachers, and moms, right? Okay, so here we go. 13, you're like, that is not enough. I've also heard some folks that put a drop or two of essential oil into that. Now, this is not vetted from Mary Kay Incorporated, so just saying. Don't tell them. But a drop or two of essential oil into this just for a fun fragrance. So you could even potentially have a little essential oil bar if you're doing an event and a nurses at a medical facility or a school, and they get to customize their hand sanitizer. Isn't that a fun idea? Okay. So personally, I mean, you can discount the products, or you can just use this to make some extra profit. Or you could use this to boost some inventory if you need it. Or you could use these as gifts with purchase. I mean, how fun to give a hand sanitizer to any old person that you want to for booking a party or doing a sharing appointment. Maybe anytime somebody purchases a foundation or CC cream, they can get a half price translucent powder. You know, so you can utilize these things any way that you want. Again, starts today, Friday, while supplies last, limit of 13, boom. Y'all good? Okay, me too. All right, so here is, at first, let me just tell you, well, no, I'll tell you as I go. Okay, so my friend, your friend, our friend, Heather Daniel Kent, I'm not going to steal her whole training. It was amazing. I was on a training with her yesterday. Unbelievable. So I want to give her full credit for this. And I also know that she will be, I'm sure, at some point sharing it. So I don't want to give it all away. But she did say, this was kind of the premise of what she was training on. And she said that there is one thing, if you will do one thing, just this one thing, if you'll do it well, you'll do it consistently, this one thing, like what is this one thing, it will separate you from the pack, from the rest of the pack. And I believe that it's not just about separating you from the pack in Mary Kay, but this is separating you from the pack in life. Do you want to know what it is? Okay. It is doing something you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. Yep. Did you wish it was something else? It's not. Doing something you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. It's doing hard things. You know, a couple interesting thoughts. Last night, my husband Josh and I went out to dinner with Nancy Boucher, six-time $1 million sales director Nancy Boucher, and her husband Dan. They're here vacationing in Pensacola Beach. And let me tell you, Pensacola Beach showed off this week. I mean, the weather, it was unbelievable. They're going to think it's like this all year. And it is some, but not all year. Sometimes it gets really hot. So we went to dinner, and we were actually talking about this. And we were talking about how we want to, and I'm still in the thick of it. They now have grandkids about our kids' age, but wanting to model this for our kids. You can do, fill in the blank with me, hard things. You can do hard things. And when is ideal to do hard things? Right now. When is not ideal to do hard things? Tomorrow, later, after you do easy things. Because the more you wait to do the hard thing, the harder the hard thing gets. And the bigger the hard thing gets, and the more insurmountable the hard thing gets. The smallest time that the hard thing, the space that it fills up, the mental space, the emotional space, is right now, is today, is in this moment. And the longer you wait, the bigger and the badder that it gets. So we were talking about that last night. We said that is something that will really mature a human being, will really mature a business person, will really have crazy growth for somebody that wants more in their life if they will do the hard thing. There's just no way around it. There's a lot you can delegate in life, and usually it's not the hard thing. It might be the thing that's, a little bit inconvenient, or the thing that is not in your wheelhouse, but the hard thing usually has to be done by you. And in this conversation, Heather mentioned a phrase, and this is really where I'm going to kind of land the plane here, but she mentioned a phrase that said, you don't have to be disciplined forever, just long enough for the habit to take over. It was from a book that she read. You don't have to be disciplined forever, just long enough for the habit to take over. So what would that look like for the next couple of months as we're going into the final couple of months of the Mary Kay Seminar year? You don't have to be disciplined forever, just long enough for the habit to then take over. And then she shared with us some ways that you do this. And I'm sure if you just stopped for yourself and thought about it, you could probably think of some ways and some areas in your life and some things that you could do to have enough discipline for now that eventually it's going to become a habit. But this was the truth bomb here, okay? The truth bomb was that when she said this and she was talking about the hard things, one of the women listening spoke up at the end. We were affirming her, and she spoke up at the end and she said, excuse me, she said, I was listening to let me see if I can reference it. Hang on. I'm going to pull it up on my phone just a minute. She said that she was listening to a podcast. Here we go. And it was a podcast with a man named David Goggins, Goggins. And the podcast was How to Build Immense Inner Strength. How to Build Immense Inner Strength. Anyways, they were talking about the same premise of doing the hard thing. And what they were saying is the more you do the hard thing, neurologically, are you ready? Neurologically, that part of your brain grows bigger. It expands. It takes up more space. The more you do a hard thing, neurologically, your brain changes. Now, that's interesting in of itself, but she wasn't done. And this is the part that made my jaw drop. She said, from what they can tell, that area of the brain is the same area of the brain that controls your will to live. Did your jaw just drop like mine? The same part and portion of your brain that you exercise and you develop when you do hard things is the same area of your brain that controls the will to live. What is a hard thing that you can do today? It's literally going to change, as we say, the crease in your brain. It's literally going to expand your mind, which in turn is the driving force to live. Damn, it's good stuff, isn't it? So, on that note, doing hard things. I'm getting ready to do a hard thing, and I say that tongue-in-cheek. It's really my son. So we're getting in the car, getting him out of school a little early, driving 8 hours down south of Tampa to Sarasota. We're actually staying at NSDE, Kendra Crisscross's home. She so graciously is opening up her home to us tonight. And my son's all-star soccer team, 2009 boys, is playing in the state championship. This is a big deal. There's one game. It's 80 minutes, 2 40-minute halves. We're from the Northwest Florida. We're the number one team in Northern Florida, and we are playing the number one team in Southern Florida, a team from Miami. And my son is the goalkeeper, so pray for me. It has got to be the hardest position on the team is the goalkeeper's mom. And he shares goalkeeper duty with one other kid. They have 2 goalkeepers on the team, which is smart. And so he will play 40 minutes. And then we're going to turn around and drive home. So we have about 16 hours in the car to watch our kid do his darndest and play his heart out for 40 minutes on the field. So if you think of us at 2 o'clock 2 o'clock Eastern on Saturday, say a prayer for the goalkeeper's mom and the goalkeeper that he would just save every ball that comes his way. And when this team wins, we go to Dallas in June for the regional tournament, and then eventually the finals are in Virginia in July. How crazy, right? So we could do hard things. I could be in the car for 16 hours in 24 hours. I could be a goalkeeper's mom on the sideline. Trying not to close my eyes and just, have a come apart during that time. No. Obviously, everything is relative, isn't it? But expand that part of your brain today. All right. I'll let you know how it goes next week. Have a great day.